They hold the worst of humanity, the dredges of society, and yet they also house the darkest of darks, the most heinous of spiritual activities happen in the prison systems. So sit back, relax, strap on your jumpsuit, and get ready to be put behind bars in this haunted jail edition of Ghosted in West Virginia. Good evening, obsessors, oppressors, possessors. It's the fourth time I've had to say that because our children keep opening the door to ask us where the power bait is, worms are, if they can go go-karting. I am tired of children, ladies and gentlemen. I am tired of them. And with me, as always,
Julia.
And we're here with another Reddit episode because, as we have discussed, I am working on the second part of Dale Scott, which just suddenly appeared. I have finished the Christmas episode, so we are getting ready to record that, and I'm excited about that. So, for the time being, Jules has had to pull multiple jobs trying to get this together and figure out if, what our next episodes are going to be. Honestly, she had a hard time with this one.
At the end because I was done with it.
Maybe don't say it like that.
Not like bored with it. Like I was very interested, and I wish I could have made a whole lot more.
She couldn't focus.
I could not focus. I didn't want to type anymore. I was done in that aspect.
But
It's been very busy.
It has been a very busy week. But we did get it finished. We got it done just in time. We are going to be talking about haunted jails, but if you are interested, join our Patreon because we're going to have a little bit extra on the back end of each episode. Just a little bit, maybe, 5, 10, 20 minutes extra of us either talking about the show, talking about our lives, letting you guys get to know us, but that'll only be on Patreon. So...
And I do have a story I want to read after this is done.
Okay.
Today.
Okay. So, we're putting that on the show or putting that on Patreon?
The show.
Okay. So, after all of those stories are read and done, if you want to hear more about what we got going on or hear about our lives, you join Patreon and check out the extra minutes of the show. So with that being said, we are off.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So what exactly got you into wanting to do... Well, we'll save that.
Okay.
Well, now that we have a back end of the show.
But, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So, back to the good old Reddit compilations. This first one is the hauntings in jails. The first story is written by Fallen, written with 2 1s, Saint, written with a 5, so it could have been Fallen Faint.
And the first 5 stories are from this person.
The first 5 stories? How many prisons did this person investigate?
No, he works there. These aren't investigations. These are prisons that are still up and running.
That are haunted?
And the people who work in them. Like the correction officers. Like this guy is a corrections officer.
Well, that's much more exciting than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be people hearing I heard banging on the cells and all that.
I'm tired of old shut down stuff. I want new up and running
Ghosts.
facilities that are
Haunted.
haunted.
And dark.
Yeah.
So Fallen Saint says, I've had several supernatural experiences and wanted to share some stories that stood out to me. I worked as an officer at a prison, and although I have moved on to a new facility, I have been an officer for the past 12 years. One of the major skills I've learned is how to retain and recall details that help recount everything or events that I witnessed. The prison I worked, I'm going to pretend like she's still here. The prison that I worked at was the oldest operational prison in my state and was built in the 1870s. I wonder if I didn't even get the positioning right because I was back here.
Like,
I was like, and then over here, I was like, the prison I worked at was the oldest operational in my state and was built in the 1870s. In an old style with a big brick wall that runs the prison's perimeter. Perimeter, not parameter. It's a parameter. It's a parameter. Now, the place has been updated over the years, but some areas that still operated had little done to them since it had been built. When I started, the old heads, quote unquote, told us all that the place was haunted because of everyone who had died just over the years. Just over the rainbow. Now, different places, more than others, like the old unit that was a segregation unit. That's it. That's his sentence. Different places, more than others. Like the old unit.
I'm guessing it wasn't supposed to be a sentence. It was
like a comma or something. Like different places, more than others. Like the old unit that was a segregation unit. But anyway, first experience. I worked there for about 8 months at this point. And the first time I saw something strange, it threw me. I was working overtime on night shift on what's called a one-on-one, where you have to watch a prisoner who was suicidal. It meant that I needed to stay up all night to make sure he was still breathing every 15 minutes. I had a partner that walked by every 28 minutes on the dot, so I knew I was awake. It was about 2 a.m. and I had just my flashlight to illuminate the cell of the prisoner. I was watching and confirming that he was breathing. I looked down to mark the check on my clipboard and I saw movement out of the corner of my eye. Now, my partner had just done his 15-minute round prior, and all the prisoners who were supposed to be locked in their cells were there, so there shouldn't be any movement down here. Also, I would just assume that you wouldn't be seeing prisoners because they were locked up. If you got to say that, what kind of security parameters how many failures have you had that you guys say, but it wasn't the prisoners, they weren't out.
Maybe he's just clarifying.
None of the prisoners got out. I'm not a bad security guard.
They're not locked in all day long. So maybe he was just clarifying that only...
Well, I imagine if it's lights out. That's what I figured, because it's night shift.
True.
So, a combination of night shift with having to check to see if the person's breathing. He's not allowed to go to sleep, but the other person, obviously the prisoner is.
Maybe he was just clarifying again.
I just like the idea that this prison's just so bad. I like the idea of this prison being so terrible in their security that prisoners could just open their door and go up to the kitchen to get a drink before returning back to their room. They can't get out of the main facility, but their cells are another question.
Now, if that's how prison really was, I might want to go.
Well, there's still going to be shanking and prison assaults in the shower. You're not taking away the meanness of prison, just the lack of security.
Maybe they could just put me on the segregation or the the suicide watch just so that I could be alone and not scared.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Because when you said put me in the segregation unit, I was about to be like, I don't think that would work for you.
No, just put me by myself so I don't have to be scared.
They might look at you as part of the reason they're there. I don't know if you want to go to the segregation unit.
Or fight me. Just, I'm suicidal. Put me away, please. Put me where I'm alone.
So anyway, I turned and saw someone doing a round on the house unit, but he isn't right. This guy's wearing a blue uniform with a Breton cap. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
A black leather belt.
I thought maybe like a beret, and maybe he just didn't spell it right.
I don't know. And a baton in his hand. The problem is that these uniforms hadn't been used by my department since the 1950s, and our uniforms are not blue, they're gray and modern. I don't know why that makes
It's
it.
a hat like this.
Oh, I like those hats.
Can we show them?
Maybe.
I can't
It's black
see.
and white, so it might be hard to
Yeah. I don't know if you
tell.
can see it, but
No, they can't see
God.
that.
You
They
can't
can't
see
see
that
that.
at
There's
all.
no hat there. That would need like a black hat or something
Yeah.
to be there.
My bad.
There's just a screen. They're holding it up. Can they see it? If it was
well, you look it up.
If it was in color, they probably could, but I don't like the way we look in color.
I don't either.
So black and white it is. But you all can look it up if you're really that interested.
Yeah.
Now, I watched this guy walk down the unit for about 5 seconds, and then I shook my head, slapped my face to make sure I was awake, and when I looked back, there was not another soul there. Then my second experience. Now, this one happened roughly 2 years later during my normal shift. The central building of the prison I worked in is a big room. Is it? Sounded like it was raining for a second.
I thought it was too. What is it?
I don't know. We are. The central building of the prison I worked in is a big room called a rotunda. Rotunda. That sounds like La Fonda. I like me some La Fonda. Now, the rotunda had 2 floors, but is open so you can see the balcony up on the top levels, and anyone who's leaving the rotunda can be seen from the outside, or from the opposite side, even on the balcony. The doors into the wings that branch off of the balcony all have windows, and most of the rooms directly connected have windows too. It was maybe 9 p.m. and I was going to the rotunda. You've got to stop saying rotunda.
He says it a lot.
Ugh.
He or she. I assume it's a boy, but
Because they're a prison guard.
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But I would love to be a prison guard, so.
Well, I bet you would, all them convicts. As we opened the barred gate into the rotunda, I looked up and noticed the administrative wing lights were dimmed. I commented to my coworker that we needed to report that the light was out. It was then that we both looked through the window and we saw something move and realized that it wasn't a light malfunction. It was a shadow person standing in front of the window. And while we were watching this shadow move through a solid wall into another room, we saw its silhouette through the window of that room, and we just looked at each other and kept going. Third experience. We're on page 2 now. I was about 3 years in as an officer by the time this one happened. I was working the 3rd shift in the control center, which is where we use the cameras and the security measures. So they take escaped convicts, like people that have tried to escape the prison. They grab them, they take them to this room, and that's where they break their legs.
So they can't escape again.
Security measures. And that's where the.
I wonder if that man that escaped the Front Royal jail last week was ever found.
Oh no.
They had helicopters looking for him and everything all through Stephen City.
What did he do?
He's got out.
But like, what did he get in for?
I don't know.
If it was murder, I hope they find him. If it was just petty theft, let the man go.
Yeah.
Let him go until he kills someone.
You
Then
really
you're fine.
waste our resources for unnecessary
Just,
things.
I mean, helicopters. Come on, it's not our resources. We don't pay Virginia.
Well, even then, I used to. And they're expensive. They ain't cheap like here. They...
Also, there are several posts around the prison's perimeter that are used to ensure the security of the prison, but we only ever used 3 of them during operational hours. In this case, it's important that you know that when a phone is left off the hook, it rings into the control central so that the control center, so that we can address the issue. When the call rings through, you can pick up the phone and hear anything on the other end that may be said in that area, which is important in case we are dealing with a staff assault or a hostage situation. And right there, you take me out of being a prison guard. Hostage situation? No, I'm all right. If you take me hostage, I'm going to let you go. You want out? Absolutely. There's the door. Here's the key. Please don't kill me. Because I let you go.
Right.
In fact, if
they act like the prisoners are the only ones doing that nonsense.
What? Letting people go?
No.
Killing people?
Where's it?
Hostages?
The hostage situation or a staff assault. They act like the staff don't assault them prisoners too. Ugh.
Now that we're done with the prison politics of my very blonde, very non-criminal wife, let's move on with this man's situation.
Also very non-judgy. I've had friends in there who I know things.
So as I'm working as the electronic monitoring officer, or the EMO, oh my gosh, he's emo. You're emo. He's an emo security guard. Of course he's working in the prison. That's where all the sadness is. He feeds off of it. He's a vampire. He's a security guard vampire. Who's gonna get scared by
He also
ghosts?
seems like he's got like the good end of the job. He
Right?
doesn't seem to have to
He
deal
doesn't have to
with
talk to
any
anybody.
of the inmates
He's
or
like,
anything.
I
He
just watch the cameras, break the legs. That's all I do.
right.
And there ain't been one prison escape. Why? Because we be breaking people's legs. You can't escape when you can't run.
Right. There's gotta be consequences.
I'm like the best security guard because nobody gets out on my watch because nobody can walk.
And then when they come to jail, you inject them with stuff so that when they try to escape in the night, they glow in the dark. And then they can't get out.
I want you to know that if you ever run for an office, you have my full support, minus me actually voting for you.
You don't like that idea?
I think you're a terrifying person. If you had power, there would be so many. You'd be like, listen.
No one
what
would escape the jails. Because
listen.
first of all, what's that thing glowing? It's a person. Release the hounds, and then we're going to break their legs.
You'd be the kind of person that would find out a deaf person was a serial killer, and your solution would be he can't defend himself if he don't have hands. Because he can't sign. Exactly. You're shooting prisoners up
and here
with
I'm like, and they act
bioluminescence.
like the prisoners are the only ones assaulting people. It's because you don't have me in there. No, for real, I wouldn't assault anyone who didn't deserve it.
You so would, and you know it. Go ahead.
Just want you to glow in the dark when you try to escape at night.
So, as I'm working as an emo security guard, which means the camera controls are my main responsibility, along with the perimeter security.
That's my job.
That's his sentence. This dude is driving me insane. That's just his sentence. So as I'm working as an emo security guard, which means the camera controls are my main responsibility, along with the perimeter security.
He watches the cameras. I look for glow-in-the-dark runners.
But what I'm saying is, why is that your sentence?
I don't know.
Because he could have changed it from as I'm working, and then at the end, perimeter security guard, he could have just taken the as I'm working again and just put as I was working. The phone starts ringing, and the institutional caller ID says 1 post, which is odd because the post is not used because it's too small for a person to fit inside comfortably. Then why did they build it?
Yeah, I wondered that as well. Like, he said a modern person. Like, if it's built the time that this jail was built, there's not a whole lot of size difference between people then and people now. Like, he's making it sound.
He didn't say modern person.
No, but in the thing.
He said the facility has been modernized.
Yeah.
And the outfits have been modernized, but I don't.
So have the people.
Okay. Well,
he thinks they are all tiny.
I imagine it was always just too small. I don't know. Maybe it was made for little Timmy. Also, at this time, there's nobody that should even be near it, and for someone to reach it would have set off at least 2 security alarms. Which, I was in charge of monitoring. Given the fact that the guy who was doing the perimeter checks was a bit of a prankster, I kind of figured that it was just him playing a prank, and that he knew a way around the sensors. So I answered the phone, and all I heard was static, which is, continuously increasing and decreasing in volume, like someone has an old TV with a static-filled channel and is moving the volumes up and down. I hang up the phone and move to the camera to look at the post, and I can see right inside there's not anyone in there. And as I'm looking, the phone rings again. That's off the hook at 1 post. At the first post. I don't know why we got call it 1 post. That's stupid.
I know, it should have been like post 1.
Yes. I bet this person's British.
Maybe. Doesn't say where he is.
This time, my lieutenant picks up the phone, and after a minute, he walks back to me, asking if the perimeter office is playing games because he heard mumbling blurred out by the static from the 1 post phone. Post 1 phone, He sees that I have the camera pointed right at it, and there's no one there. The lieutenant tells me to have the perimeter officer check it out because an animal may have gotten into the post and knocked the phone off the hook. The officer took a while to get there, and as he had been on the other side of the perimeter, he had to climb 5 flights of stairs to get there. During this time, the phone had continued to ring from post 1 until I could see the officer opening the door, at which point the phone stopped ringing. The officer opens the door with his flashlight on and calls over the radio that there's not even a phone in the post. My lieutenant responds that there must be one because the calls keep coming through, and in response the officer holds up a disconnected phone line so that the camera can see it and says this is the only thing in the post. This post has not been used since the early 80s. They would still ring now and then on the 3rd shift until we updated our phone system to an internet-based system. So I guess ghosts don't know how to work the internet. They only know the analog.
Only us modern people now.
Only us modern people. Now the 4th experience. I've been an officer, so we've got 2 years, 3 years, now 4 years. And I was working my regular shift as an emo. I went on a bathroom break, which means that I had to go into the bathroom, take out my black hair extensions, wipe off my eyeliner, and just be myself, be normal. Just be normal Gary for a day before I had to go in there and be Gary. I like him walking in and be like, "All right, prisoners, do you feel me now?" I don't know how to do emo singing.
That was awful.
I feel like that was pretty close.
Yeah, maybe.
What's that one dude in the headdress that Jacob was watching like forever? It had white face paint, and he was singing. What is emo? Is 3 Days Grace emo? Bullet for My Valentine, is that emo?
I don't know.
Falling in Reverse? Is that emo? Must be.
I believe so.
There we go. He's going around the prison screaming "Falling in Reverse." So
they're just angry.
Well, Falling in Reverse. I've never actually. I think Jordan likes them.
I like one of their songs. That's all I've ever listened to.
That's that Ronnie Millsap dude, right? Or whatever his name is.
I don't know.
I think Ronnie Millsap might actually be someone my grandpa liked.
I don't know anybody's names.
Well, either way, Emo went on a bathroom break, which means he had to leave his post to go about 100 yards away to the nearest bathroom. As I am in the bathroom, I distinctively hear the sounds of boots clapping on the tile floor of the hallway that leads to this bathroom.
I had a hard time typing that sentence.
I'd say I would be too. Oh man.
You wanted to write cheeks clapping.
Oh, Jules. As the sounds get closer, I can hear the large keys that are clinking together on their waist as they walk. When it's because you put the W and the H together. Capital. When it's
might have been a baby typing for me.
It sounded he spelled when correctly. They are in. Well, they were in the door there. In fact, I can see one, unless that's grape juice, right there in the glass thing. Right there in the glass thing. There you go. Oof. If you had eyesight, you might be a danger to the country, son.
Yeah, you should wear your glasses, sir.
Now, as the sound gets closer, I can hear the large keys that are clinking together on their waist as they walk. When it sounded like they were right outside the door, I called out saying, "I will be out in a minute," and I didn't hear the sounds after that. Thinking someone was waiting outside, I hurried up, washed my hands, opened the door, and there was no one there. The hallway was long enough and has 3 entry doors that I would have heard something open and close as well as any other door in the hallway, to where they would have had issues getting out of the hallway without me hearing them. This dude is wordy as heck.
Yeah, he is. It's like Stephen King.
Man, Stephen King wishes he knew this many words to put together. J.R.R. Tolkien, who took 4 pages to explain a door, is taking notes from this dude. Like, okay, yeah, you saw something, but you knew that they couldn't hear you because they did in the door. You heard the door would open, and the door did not open, so you know that it wasn't there. That's a whole sentence this guy would read. Oh man. I returned. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Did I return? Did I return? I have not returned. Wait, yes I did. I have returned to my post and asked my sergeant if he saw anyone go into the wing while I was down there, and he said he didn't, and asked why. Knowing that he was someone who believed in ghosts, given that he and I had talked about how he used to do independent paranormal investigations, there it is, I told him what happened. His face went slack, his eyes got large, and he said, "Go check the video." I returned to my position, I thought you already did that, and watched the video of the hallway and the surrounding hallways. No one was in the area during that time except for me, and no signs of any other distortions. He was still hanging out in the hallway. 5th experience. This dude, man.
He had even more.
What?
But I stopped at 5. I was like, bro.
He needs to check himself in.
book.
Yeah, just write your book. You ain't got to use Reddit. Just write your book, have AI fix it so that you don't have 500 pages for a 200-page book. They'll cut out a lot of his talking, a lot of his chit-chat. Now, I have been an officer for 6 years. I guess nothing happened in year 5.
Right, pretty quiet year.
and was working my regular shift. I was watching the medication lines after the dinner lines were gone, and my sergeant was talking with me. Not like a management thing, we were friends and just wanted to have a conversation while ensuring that the prisoners weren't passing meds, fighting, or worse.
Fighting over meds.
or taking back shots for meds. Oh, Sandy, when did you get back there? You got them Percocets after this? I'm gonna need some muscle relaxers after this one. I don't even know why I did that either. Anyway.
Because it sounds like you might know from experience from a prison stay, maybe.
I've never been to prison.
You've never told me about.
I've never been to prison or jail. That's not true. I've been to jail. Well, I don't know. Is the Moorfield place a jail?
No.
Oh, then no, I've never been to jail.
That's just the police department.
He said he was going to put me in their little closet. JT said if you hadn't been able to see a judge, we would have put you right in here. And it was this little closet. It's a jail cell, but it looks like it's for crazy people.
That's weird.
I know. I would have been like, can I have my phone? Because that's going to be real boring if you have me in there. He would have been like, this isn't a reward. I'm like, yeah, but it's not really a punishment either. I rode up front.
No cuffs even.
I know. I rode up front. Come on, man. At least I'm not really arrested. If it is, you guys are like the worst at it.
Right?
Now, anyway, the medical hall I was watching is connected to the one with the rotunda.
There's that word again.
And at the other end, to one of the main housing blocks, specifically right next to our main segregation unit. Now, there's no way it was still a segregation unit, right?
I don't think he means it that way. I think he means it's
like isolation?
Yeah.
Oh, they need to pick a different name then.
I mean, he might not even be American. He might, British and stuff. They use different terms.
That's true. Now, as we were talking, we heard what sounded like muffled talking from a radio. Checking our radios, we realized it's not us. We began searching the area around us. Given the location, there shouldn't have been any unattended radio, so it was a security issue of some concern. It was a security issue of some concern. And as we proceeded to search the area, we realized that the intercom system speaker for the segregation unit was making the sound. The intercom, unlike a standard housing unit, is not used frequently, which is why we were surprised to find it transmitting anything. The sergeant points at it and says it must be broken. The switch is in the off position and the activation light is off. I looked closely and got goosebumps as I made a shocking discovery, saying, "Sarge, how is it doing that when it's not plugged in either?" I held up the unplugged cord leading out to the intercom box and gave it a slight tug to show I meant business. No, in prison. Oh, Jolly Jerry! Why? Why'd you do that? Because you didn't give me no cigarettes at dinner, Sam.
Didn't give me your meds in the med line.
Now I'm going to yank it off and give it to Fields over there. He likes to make necklaces out of them.
Ew.
We've made a really bad prison. Glow-in-the-dark people ripping wankies off.
Making necklaces with
Making
them.
necklaces. People giving out sexual butt favors for the Xanax and Percocets. It's a terrible prison we're running. Anyway.
I'd be like, please don't send me there.
I don't like it anymore.
Anybody but there.
I don't like it anymore.
Send me to Russia.
So the sergeant's face went white, and he walked off just shaking his head, saying, "Nope, nope, 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 nope. These intercoms don't have backup batteries, and there is no direct power hookup. Just the cord that I had already shown was disconnected. The sounds continued for the duration of the medication line. I left the area after that, and I never heard of it doing it again.
And then I quit my job.
I'd be like, then it was clearly because of me. Now, this next story is, we're finally done with Fallen Saint.
This particular person had a whole bunch of stories, but they, I don't know a polite term.
They're stupid.
I was so uneducated.
No, they're dumb. It's okay.
And
Red Knuckles is never going to find us.
It was very difficult to
read
their writing, so I had to try to keep it as if they wrote it, but still so that we
could read it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I wish you had just left it the way it was.
I should have, but there was no punctuation. Nothing was capitalized.
I would have just read it. All right, we're gonna pretend like this doesn't have periods.
Okay.
Ready? I am retired California corrections officer of 20 years. The prison I worked at was made in the 80s. I had a lot of experiences in that jail over the years to the point that they just became part of job. Oh, sorry, part of the job. Sorry.
And
he
I
did
don't
say
think
part
he
of the job.
even said I am a retired. It just said retired CACO officer. I was like,
Okay.
Excuse me?
CACO. All right.
You are what, sir?
I was more concerned with the inmates than the ghost, but yes, hauntings are real.
I've been more concerned about your education.
Shadows, full apparitions, voice. Them voices haunt me. These are just the prisoners. Make them stop talking.
They're trying to teach you.
Keeps asking me if they can use the bathroom, Hoss. Voice. Objects moving on their own. Video footage. Cold blasts of air in no AC areas on hot nights. Doors unlocking in footsteps. The smells always really freaked me out. The smell of strong sweat in areas where there are no inmates. I believe prisoners are a hotbed for paranormal due to the violence, suicide, anger, mental health that the environment absorbs into it. These are just my own personal experiences.
Treated them prisoners bad.
Why? Because they don't have an education?
Yeah.
If you're stupid, you're going to treat people bad. That's what Julia says. If you're uneducated, you don't know how to treat people.
It's true.
All right.
We could get into some politics, but we won't.
Well, I don't really know that that's politics. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. I believe these are just my own personal experiences, and whether you believe in the paranormal or not is your own opinion. Thank you. I had no idea that it was going to be my own opinion. I thought it was your opinion that I was just regurgitating. So I'm glad that we were able to really clear that up.
Clear the air there.
Wait a minute. Was that the end of his thing?
Yeah. Didn't you love it?
There wasn't even a story there.
Just that he saw the stuff and the smells.
I don't know that I would have even put him in there. Unless you were going to just leave it the way it was so I could make fun of him, because honestly...
That's true. I mean, I thought maybe I still left it bad enough that you could, but...
This next one was written anonymously.
Because he was a prisoner, I believe.
Oh, all right. Here we go. John Smith. I spent a year in New York prison. Medium security dorm. Someone had apparently found out a way of hanging himself in the bathroom at some point in the past. I swear, we'd all jump out the bunks when someone would slam one in particular stall door in the middle of the night. Even the CEO would run in, look.
That's because you don't know what's coming.
Nobody would be there but a swinging stall door. Yeah, and myself and some of the other inmates believed it was the same being, but there was a shadow that would roam through the whole dorm, and you could strongly sense it. You know what I mean? One night I woke up feeling like it was around me. I peeked over the divider to see it slowing, hovering around.
All I picture is this, beefy, looking like a badass convict peeking over, scared to death.
I ain't scared. I peeked over at the CO. I ain't scared. I peeked over at the CO. And his gaze was fixed on this thing. It was like he was shocked, but in a trance watching it. I never did ask him about it. My wife used to work in a nursing home. And just as crazy stuff happens there too. They had a deaf resident. Wait, no, I'm sorry. They had a deaf cat. I thought it might have said death of a resident. And I just skipped of a, but no, it went from being a deaf resident to a deaf cat. Oh, which isn't unheard of. I understand that is not unheard of. In fact, Stephen King put that in Dr. Sleep. Danny Torrance would go into the rooms that a cat had visited because the cat was visiting people that were about to die. So he would go into the room to comfort them while they were dying, so that he could make them feel better about dying.
The cat?
So, no. Danny Torrance. He would just use the cat because the cat would go to the room of a person that's getting ready to die.
Gotcha.
If he sat on their bed, the resident and Danny knew that person was getting ready to pass. And so Danny Torrance would go into the room and try and make them feel better about it.
No.
They had a deaf cat, and it was a rescue from a local shelter that was brought in as a therapy cat for the residents.
But he hated all of them.
And I'm hard, bruh. My wife in a nursing home had deaf cat. And well, the cat didn't want to be bothered unless you were about to die. Is he dead yet? Is he gonna die? No? I ain't worried about it. If that cat was actually seen sitting with or near a certain resident, there's a 100% chance they would pass within 24 hours. True shit. All right. This next one is sent in by positive AP/Ubi confirmation.
What the hell kind of name
I don't know. Title: I saw myself standing over my grave in jail. Okay, so recently I spent... Oh man, they're writing this from in jail.
This was the one I didn't read.
This is the one you didn't read?
Yeah, that I was trying to tell you
man.
it wasn't going the way I wanted it to do, and then it just wasn't working.
Is it a ghost story? You think?
I don't know. Let's find out. This will be fun for us both.
All right. Suspenders of disbelief come off. Let's get this. Okay, so recently I spent a week in the icebox. The center wasn't too shabby compared to what it was like in county. Hella time isolated from everyone. Nobody really talked to but the guards. Only when spoken to, of course. I spent whatever time I had sitting in my cot, living in my head, analyzing, organizing my thoughts. A day. I'm sorry. I love the mentality of a prisoner. It's like, I won't get myself right in here first.
Until I get out.
Right, until I get out, and then I find out it's a lot easier to steal shit.
Mm-hmm.
Steal it. So, organize my thoughts. A day or so before I left, I had an overwhelming wave of energy drown me in the most calming way.
Okay.
Like,
Did you
yes,
leave to go to a
thank
psych facility?
goodness I'm dying.
Because that's where you should have went.
I can't wait. I had no idea what prompted the feelings exactly, but all I wanted to do after it was lay on the grass in the yard to breathe in the sun.
Breathe in the sun.
I'm pretty sure that would hurt, just to be honest. When the time came to go out, I spent my entire hour watching clouds, feeling so connected to things outside the jail. I don't know how it's outside myself. Oh my gosh. This dude did acid before he went outside. He did acid in the jail. That's what's happening. I closed my eyes and really tried to meditate, take myself to my happy place. In a meadow with Angelina Jolie. Brad Pitt's been thrown on a train track, and we just watching it go down. Me and her gonna be together forever. That's my happy place. I counted my breaths, slowly felt like I was fading into sleep. But my brain was still in my daydreams. Angelina Jolie won't let me go. I'm more man than she can handle. The more I deepened my breathing, the lighter I felt, almost weightless, yo. I felt what I thought was my hand wipe sweat from my forehead, but then I realized it wasn't me physically who felt the touch. My body's so serene. I'm sorry, my body was so serene. Not my body's so serene like I'm some sort of Def Jam poet. My body's so serene, motionless, but keen. I felt the grass on my legs as I was kneeling instead of my laying on my back as I was. What are you doing? Why are you falling all over the place?
What did he say?
He said, my bad, twin. What was that? What is happening? What is happening?
I don't know.
Everything's slamming in his room. He's not Jacob. What's happening?
Is he possessed?
That's what we're going to have to get in there. Now I felt the grass on my legs as if I was kneeling instead of laying on my back as I was. It took me to a place that I knew so well, my mom's grave.
What?
I watched myself lay there on top of her. No. You gotta not phrase it that way. And apologizing. I'm laying on top of her grave, on top of her, crying, apologizing. I saw myself sit up and say goodbye and touch her name on the headstone one last time. Right next to her name was mine. My birthday etched in my date. My date of death, a blur, but not far from that day. Well, then if it was a blur, how do you know? How do you know it wasn't far from that day if it was a blur? I was hovering to the side of my body, watching it collapse on the stone. I felt like I reached down to touch my shoulder, and before my hand fully lowered, the yard alarm rang, and my eyes crept open to the guard shouting my name. I couldn't decipher if I had just had a gnarly catnap daydream. That is one way to describe that. Gnarly catnap daydream. Or if it had been the thing to do with the tsunami of energy that I felt earlier that drowned me in calmness. So calm. So calm. Yeah. Big Reggie energy. I get out of prison, you know what's gonna happen to me? Somebody gonna lock me up in a barn for all them troubled times that they don't feel like dealing with. They gonna say, Reggie, come on out. And I'm gonna have my bat and my bear. I'm gonna slap them like they're some silly salmons. This is Reggie in jail. This is what caused it. He was like, I saw me laying on top of my mama's grave crying and apologizing and knew I needed to change. Oh, man. All right. Now, I couldn't... Oh, wait. Before bed, I laid my eyes open. What? I laid my eyes open wide. Before bed, I laid my eyes open wide, staring at to seeing them, replaying all the things that I had a feeling.
This like Oliver does.
What the heck did I? Oh wait, some.
I tried to get my phone from my window because I didn't want to come here and disturb y'all, and my window fell out, and I was trying to fix it in there.
Oh.
Oh. Well, I was gonna say I didn't think anyone was here. That's why I was wondering what all that nonsense thumping was.
some part of my brain started drifting to my happiest of thoughts. Angelina Jolie again. How you doing? And I instantly felt my bones. Did I just project? What the heck did I... Okay, so how's he gonna say shit, holy shit here, and then what the heck here?
I don't know.
Okay, alright. What the heck did I experience? And was it the cosmos speaking to me, or did I just will that into happening? The past few months have been amending I have been amending many of my legal matters that I ran it from for years. It's been an avalanche of consistent stress, court appearances, financial dues, craziness for the week, to say the least. But every time the past came to mind, I looked down at the dark, heavy. I looked back at how dark and heavy.
Not so small.
I know, my soul felt. How lost I was in myself for so long. All the ways my soul feels intact now. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm slowly changing the burnt bridges I'm rebuilding so long, and oh, I'm rebuilding because they freed me. Freed me. My heart feels like it levitates between the physical body and my spiritual body every time I move. I've opened myself and soul to phases of life I'm so proud to be at. The more I find myself letting go of all meaning and experiences in my past that I chose to be blind to, the more I open my eyes and see all the life around me presently to live. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's the end of that nut job. Goodness gracious.
That gave me a great idea.
Huh.
We should do a
Fine
whole
episode of Wackadoodles.
But not read them. Like, because that's, remember, I didn't read it. I was just trying to...
Well, we gotta have some sort of idea of what they're gonna say. Like,
we just type in some off-the-wall paranormal thing, and then...
What I mean was we gotta make sure it's a paranormal thing. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, this... There has to be like a paranormal story involved somewhere. It can't just be like replying to a paranormal story and it's just like, same bro. You know what I mean? All right, so I believe that's our episode, except you have a story to read, don't you?
Let me get it.
No, you're never gonna get it.
My nose is
You're never gonna get it. You'll never. And remember, after this story, we are continuing the episode for just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. And if you want to see the ending of that, join our Patreon. It's very cheap. I think we have it at $1. Maybe even $3. But it's not very expensive for the perks that you get.
I don't know. Okay. So, a friend sent me this morning, and it's not her own personal story, but it's a story she thought I would like. On a back road outside Cookeville, Tennessee. I gotta get this real close to my face.
That's fine.
Because I can't see it.
I know you're blind.
There's an abandoned wooden barn locals call the Lantern Barn. It sits alone in a foggy pasture, half collapsed, covered in vines. It has no doors, no windows, no power lines, and no nearby homes. The place should be completely dark. But for nearly 50 years, travelers and farmers have reported the same thing. A warm orange glow shining from inside the barn as if someone is walking around holding a lantern. What?
No.
The first account came in 1974 when a mail carrier driving before sunrise saw light seeping through the cracks in the old boards. Why are you staring at me?
I'm listening to you. This is how you listen. Would you rather me have my phone in my pocket?
No. He thought someone was living inside, but when he approached, the light snapped off like a switch. Inside, nothing.
No.
Just hay, dust, and the smell of rain. More reports followed. A soft amber light drifting from one side of the barn to the other, shadows moving behind the wall slats, a figure holding what looked like an old kerosene lantern, a glow disappearing the moment anyone got within 20 feet, cows refusing to graze anywhere near the structure. In 1989, a group of teens captured something unsettling on a camcorder. At 11:17 p.m., the barn lit up from within, not brightly, just a steady, lantern-like glow. When zoomed in, they saw the silhouette of a man wearing a wide-brimmed hat slowly walking along the inside wall. One teen whispered, "Someone's in there," but 10 seconds later, the glow faded out and the silhouette dissolved into darkness. Inside, again, was nothing. The town records reveal an eerie history. In 1911, the barn belonged to a farmer named Elijah Parker. One winter night, Parker went out to check on his horses carrying a lantern, and he never came back.
Okay.
He had a hiccup. The next morning, neighbors found the barn burned nearly to the ground, and Parker's lantern half melted in the ashes. His body was never recovered. The barn was rebuilt over the charred foundation in 1913. Strange lights were reported as early as the 1920s, but the most frightening incident happened in 2006. A storm knocked out power across the region. A state trooper driving past the barn saw a blazing orange glow much brighter than usual. Assuming it was a fire, he radioed for backup. When he stepped out of his car and pointed his flashlight at the barn, the glow instantly collapsed inward like someone blew out a candle. Backup arrived to find the trooper pale and shaking. He claimed he had heard 3 footsteps inside the barn after the light disappeared. But when he checked the dirt floor, there were no footprints, no animals, no intruders, just cold air and silence. In 2020, thermal cameras picked up heat inside the barn despite sub-zero temperatures. The heat signature resembled a human figure warming the air around it. Today, drivers still report the lantern glow moving from wall to wall as if someone is pacing with a light that shouldn't exist. Locals say Elijah is still just checking on his horses. Scientists say the barn is haunted by trapped gases reflecting headlights. Travelers say the glow is too steady, too bright, and too intelligent, but everyone agrees if you see the light inside the lantern barn, don't go closer. It always goes dark when someone approaches, and whatever makes the light doesn't like being seen.
Oh, that's creepy.
Isn't that cool, though?
That's very cool. Thank you, Shanda, for
I was
throwing
quite
that us our way.
excited to read that this morning. I was like, ooh.
That is very cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our episode. Stay tuned if you want to for our, we're going to call it our funeral services at the end here. Join the funeral and join our Patreon to get the bits of funeral out of your beard. Now, with that being said, you all really need to curl up. All right, I'm going to tell you this now. Reggie's bear has been getting on Salty Garlic's nerves, and Sock Basket. Sock Basket, I don't know exactly how to. She stitched the bear into a blanket, so she's done. And
a good time.
So they are, they've been out for a week since Reggie's been staying here. And we haven't had any chance to tell you guys that they are coming. You know, every week we warn you that they are looking for the soles of your feet. They are still looking for the soles of your feet. They are going to lick them off, and they'll probably need a good extra pair. So better tell your children to also curl up their feet, because they will take their soles. They're trying to stay away from the house as long as possible. They're looking to supply up. So if you don't mind, curl up your feet, curl up your children's feet, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Bye.
Look at little Franklin watching his puppy videos. But you don't have to watch puppy videos. You can watch Ghosted in West Virginia and join our channel. And if you think about it, you could also go over to Ghosted in West Virginia Facebook page and share and subscribe there as well. Of course, if you don't, you're a loser.